So our next topic is reduction and incentives. So during the life of the contract, we may need to account for reductions in payment, or if we need to add an incentive that is in the contract, we have different method. We can if we have free rent months, and if there is any reduction in lease payment, or if there is any incentive to renew any contract, we have the option to add a reduction term, incentive free rent term, or even incentive cash term. Let's go to let's see more about reduction. So reduction term is used in conjunction with other terms like base rent or extension. The validity of the reduction term must overlap the base rent or extension. For example, if we have a contract validity from Jan to December 2025, the reduction term should not go beyond December 2025. Uh, do you have any question regarding that? Okay. The payment date of reduction should coincide with the actual payment, and the reduction term should not cause a negative payment amount. Now, things to consider for reduction term, as discussed earlier, we need to keep in mind the dates. It should be in conjunction with base rent or extension, and we need to make sure the payment frequency and amount frequency are correct so that there is no scope for negative payment to occur. And here we have an example to see what happens if there is a reduction term that leads to a negative payment. So if the payment is done quarterly, month, just a second. Yeah. So if the payment is quarterly, and if we introduce a reduction term with payment frequency monthly, which means the reduction term is applied to period where there are no payment, which will create a negative payment amount. In this case, we will not be able to activate the activation rule. The system will indicate that the reduction amount is greater than the base rent or extension term. Do anyone have any question? Has anyone experienced this one before? Okay. Now let's move on to free rent. So it is part of the incentive terms. It can be added at inception and during the life of the contract. If there is a clause in the contract that gives a few months where we don't have to make the payment, we can use free rent to reflect that one. And adding a free rent will reduce the asset as well as the liability amount. For the free rent, we can add an incentive term, and we can indicate how many months are we skipping the payment. We can make use of the available amount and payment frequency to match the targeted free rent period. For example, if the base rent has amount frequency one time and payment frequency monthly, you can use the same for free rent. So here we can see how incentive affect the asset and liability amount. So here we can see the liability amount is debited and the asset amount is credited, which depicting indicating a reduction in both. So this is the proposed analysis for reduction and incentive free rent. First, we need to see if the lease payment will change, and if it changes, then we prepare the new targeted list of payments. Then we decide to use either reduction, incentive, or both the terms. Then we need to validate the draft to see the payment and adjustment, to see if the payment and adjustments are in order. And once we have checked the accuracy and the adjustments, then we can complete the event. Any question? Okay, let's look at free rent in the system. So we'll use the same contract, reworking it, and I'm going to the contract level. I'm calling it back. And then I can go to the lease component, terms and condition, and I can add a new term, and my term will be incentive term. And I can add incentive free rent. And let's say I don't have to make the payment on June 2025 and July 2025. I can give the first payment date as 1st June 2025 and the last payment date as 31st July 2025. And then we can submit it. Then I can approve this contract. And I can go to activation group level, terms and condition. Here I can, it will be checked by default, but I have the option to uncheck it. But let's check this one and I can send it to assessment. And now a preliminary schedule has been created, so I can go to the schedule. All column. Here we can see for the months of June and July, we don't have a minimum lease payment. It's 0. Do you have any question? No. Okay, now let's move on to cash incentive. So it is a part of incentive terms. It can be added at inception and during the life of the contract. There is no impact on liability. It is recognized when the amount is paid by the lessor. So whichever is open period without any posting, the system will automatically select that. And for cash incentive, the recognition is based on whether the amount is paid immediately by the lessor or not. If the for example, if the cash is paid before the contract start date, you may add the cash incentive at inception. And to add a cash incentive, we need to add them in the non-lease amount. So here, and all other fields will be grayed out. So most of the cash incentive will be recognized during the life of the contract. When triggering a lease modification and choosing cash incentive, the system automatically will select the first open period, that is the period without any posting. And only one cash incentive can be added in each term. So cash incentive term in the first period of the lease must be added at the inception and not through an event. So the first period, it should be at inception. We cannot add it through an event. So yeah. And here we can see how this incentive will affect the asset. Even though it does not affect the liability amount, it will reduce the asset amount. Resulting balance on incentive clearing account will be netted with the respective credit balance in the ERP, and there is no effect in liability. There is no effect on remaining payments and liability. And here is the process involved to add a cash incentive. First, we see if the incentive is paid immediately or not. And if it is paid immediately, we add it at the inception of the contract. And then we determine the amount that will reduce the ROU. And once we determine the amount, we add the incentive terms, and then we can validate the result in draft and see the adjustment in the gross book value and the future depreciation. And once everything is validated, we can complete the event. Do anyone have any question? Okay, let's look at that in our system. I can rework them. I can go to the contract level and I can call it back. Go to the lease component, terms and condition, and I can add an incentive cash amount. And here we can see all the fields have been grayed out except the non-lease amount. Let's say I received $10,000. And I can select the non-lease portion. So let's say this is amount I got for maintenance, let's say. And I can submit it. Then I can approve the contract. And I can go to the terms and condition. Since we are adding a cash incentive term as and when we have received the amount from the lessor, it will be the likely to exercise checkbox will be checked by default. So we don't have to check it again. And I can send it to assessment. And here I can check the schedule or column. And we are supposed to do the incentive amount here. Second, 10,000. Okay, here. So the incentive lease amount is shown over here. And this will reduce the asset amount, but the liability will stay the same.